Hello there, all you amazing people. This is a little bit of a reaction video. This is part of a video of someone switching from Linux to Windows, which, I just read a comment. Anyway, where a 3-year veteran or 3-year user of Linux is moving to Windows because of reasons. All the normal reasons that everyone else is giving for moving back to Windows. And this Ando, I think his name is, I think we've seen him before, is coming into defense of Linux. And this is the part that I want to react to or talk about, because this is the viewpoint of every Linux, not every, but most Linux users. And I'm going to tell you why this stance that he's taking, this view that he's taking, is super wrong. But before that, give me a like, give me a subscription, go on to Discord, suggest videos that I can make videos on. If you want to see me talk about a subject or something like that, we can do that.
Sam's defense, things not just working, is not his fault. But you know what? It's not the fault of Linux either. Now Cameron's...
So that's... I'm going to stop a lot, okay? But that's here is where everything just go downhill. If someone is like, things not working is not our product's fault, okay? I'm buying a car. It's not just working. And you're saying it's not your fault. Well, okay, well, you buy for it, you expect it to be... Okay. I get it. You are giving me something for free, and it's not working. And I'm saying to you, I don't want this because it's not working, or it's not my fault. It's not the product's fault. Well, then I'm not going to use it. If you want to make a product, Linux is a product, open source is a product. If you want to deliver a product, free or paid, and you want users or customers to engage and use it, you have to expect it to work, because that's what they do. Most people don't get something free or paid or use something free or paid expecting to be the ones maintaining it, building it, etc., etc. They just want it to work. If it don't work, they use something else.
Allergy to the Linux terminal side, as both him and I these days focus on media creation, I completely understand as someone who does a lot of video creation that making the decision to go with Linux can cause problems. The reason is...
Not just video creation, creative work in general. I can make 10-hour video long about why Linux is bad for anything other than corporate work, like server-side work, IoT work, development work.
Is because with a GNU Linux operating system...
It's not GNU Linux, it's just Linux.
You add many variables in addition to different hardware configurations that wouldn't be there on Windows.
And that's the problem. Oh, you cannot blame us for be fragmented. Yes, we can. Yes, we can be less fragmented. It's that simple. If something is a negative for the majority of users, that's a fucking negative. That's something we can blame. The system, the idea, the whatever you will call it. That's a thing we can blame you guys for. You cannot use that as a defense. Oh, of course it don't work because we have like 10,000 distributions made by lunatics that think they know how to code, that don't know how to code. That's not our problem. Yes, it is. Get your shit together. Because they are defending or blaming or yelling and screaming at people moving away from Linux and open source. And he's giving the reason why they're doing it. Then give them... Here's the easiest way of making sure that people don't move away from your shit. Give them no reason to do so. Don't make excuses. He's a choppy guy, I'm a choppy guy. We could be sitting on our ass and blaming everyone else on the earth why we are choppy. There's only one person to blame why we are choppy. That's me and him. We are eating too much and doing too less exercise. It's that simple. It's not my mom's fault, it's not my... Sometimes you can have some sicknesses and take some medicine, but most likely you can work around that by working harder. You cannot blame your upbringing, your environment, your job for being choppy. It's your fault. Just like what he's saying here about the good old fragmentation. Fix it. There's no need for 10,000 distributions.
For example, different distros. Now, for someone who wants to fine-tune and customize their desktop experience all the time, all this choice is great, but
I can customize and fine-tune 2 Linux distributions. I need 2 Linux distributions because here's the thing. If you know what you're doing under Linux, you don't need different Linux distributions. You can do everything you want on every Linux distribution. It's that simple. Arch Linux can do the same as Manjaro, as... I don't know, fucking Ubuntu. You just need to know how to do it. If you think that Linux is not customizable, if you don't have 10,000 distributions or 10,000 desktop environments, then you don't know what you're doing. It's that simple.
It comes with the cost of both stability and reliability.
Okay? If it comes with the cost of stability, reliability, you're giving people a reason to move away. He's making the case why not to use Linux, right? Up till now, I heard no good reasons for using Linux other than I can... change the colors of my windows.
Especially for stinky casuals like Cameron, who, like I said before, doesn't like using the terminal. Now, before you crucify him for not wanting to use the terminal and...
This is another thing that just drives my nuts so crazy that they are running around my neck and trying to strangle me every day. We are not living in 1980 or 1970 or 1960s. We moved away as a computing society from the terminal in the 90s because it makes no sense for the vast majority of use cases. You cannot blame people for not wanting to use the terminal. Had we lived in 1999, I will even say 2004 and down. Let's say 2004 and down. I could justify, I could allow, I would agree that using the terminal is a valuable skill. Go talk to your developer friends. Go look at your developers. Go look at your IT professionals. And look at how many of them are actually fucking using the terminal. Almost no one. And if they are using the terminal, how, let's say over a week, how much percentage of the time that they are working are they in a terminal? Almost never. I do infrastructure, computing setup, management, security, coding, development. I do almost anything you can dream of in that has to do with computing. And I rarely use the terminal. Rarely. I do it by choice, but I don't have to. So you cannot sit there and expect people to have to use the terminal when in any other fucking system they're using, they don't have to. It's like using a paradigm from the 50s in a modern age. Get on with the times, Linux. Get out of this mindset that the terminal is the best fucking thing and everyone should know the terminal. No, they should not. The terminal is great for really, really select few things. Other than that, it's a useless, outdated piece of shit.
Compile code, etc. Let's think about this for a second. The type of experience Cameron is looking for is it just works. But I don't...
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that. That's the experience. Like, I keep saying this to people. If you go to work and you have to spend 30 minutes fixing your fucking shit to work, and that happens a lot, you don't have a job anymore. My boss is not going to pay me to fix my development computer or admin computer or infrastructure admin computer before I can do my fucking coding, development, or administration work. That's not what he's paying me for. Especially not when there's other systems out there where those 30 minutes that I need to fix shit, I don't have to do that on. He's like, why are you not using this system? Well, open source and yeah, but you're wasting 30 minutes 5 times a week now. You're wasting hours. I'm paying you hours for doing shit that you don't have to do. So yeah, it just fucking has to work. That's why you look at companies, they're so slow to adopt new technologies because they know the old one, it just worked. They're not going into uncertain territories. They don't have to retrain the staff. What if something breaks, etc., etc., etc.? His mentality would not work in a fucking working environment.
I don't think it's right to just tell him, well, what do you expect? Linux is built to be used with a terminal. Personally, to me...
No, it's not. Linux is not. Also, what does he mean by Linux? The terminal or the distribution? No, not the terminal, the kernel. The kernel is not meant to be used in a terminal because the kernel is a kernel. You can interact with that however the fuck you want. A distribution can be made to work in a terminal if you make it like an IoT distribution or embedded distribution, etc., etc. So there's some merit to that end. But it's just like, what are we even talking about here?
This idea is really insulting to Linux and the people who have worked hard over the years trying to create, honestly, a very decent desktop experience that we have.
But here's the thing. Decent and not good enough. This is the appreciation trophy mindset. I don't care how hard you work. If it's not good enough, it's not good enough. It's that fucking easy. If you spend a lot of free time, a lot of effort building something that's shit, it's shit. That's how the world works. I'm bursting all your bubbles right now. You could have done everything with the best intentions in the world and put so much effort into it that you're single forever and all of that fucking shit. If it's a shit piece of software, it's a shit piece of software. If it's paid, if it's free, if it's done on a voluntary fucking basis, if it's shit, it's shit. You cannot use that as an excuse because that take away your responsibility for actually making good shit. I hate this excuse. Oh, it's free. What did you expect? I expect things to fucking work. I expect quality, or else I'm going somewhere else where I'm getting that, and I don't care if I have to pay for it.
Today, there are Linux experiences that are designed to function completely without the terminal. Just look at Chrome OS or Android.
Okay. Chrome OS I can give a pass on, but Android is not Linux. If Android is Linux, if you think Android is Linux, congratulations, you made FreeBSD the biggest open source distribution or OS to ever exist. Because by that logic, Mac OS is FreeBSD. It's that simple, people. If you categorize Android as a Linux distribution or a Linux operating system, Mac OS is FreeBSD because they do the exact same thing. Heck, there's probably more FreeBSD code in macOS than there is Linux code in Android. Get that into your fucking noggin. If you actually care about reading the Android documentation, they say that when the Android kernel comes to like Samsung and other manufacturers, there may be as little as, I think it's like 10% original Android code left. So that's Android, not Linux code, Android code. So that means that's the Android kernel with Linux code. So there would probably be 5 or 2% original Linux code left when Samsung has had their messy fingers into the Android kernel. Again, if you think like he does, congratulations. FreeBSD is the second most used operating system in the world because macOS is FreeBSD.
It's just unfortunate that when it comes to content creation tasks for us artsy types, the more locked down the platform is, the better our software works.
It makes sense, and he's explaining why it makes sense, but it makes sense why they need to lock it down.
I mean, just ask as many video editors as you want. They'll tell you that the best NLE experience is on Mac, because their software doesn't crash every 15 minutes. Partially because there's only one software configuration and only a handful of hardware configurations.
Congratulations for making a case why we need standardization. All of this could have been done in Linux if we had a standard fucking graphic library, a standard desktop environment, a standard kernel, one standard Linux distribution, or 2 or 3 of them. You could get the same stability as Windows and Mac OS. That simple. Have a standard and make people follow the standard. It's that fucking simple.
Now, I will agree that maybe Cam should have investigated using the terminal or community scripts to try to fix.
No, it should not. Why should the community fix someone else's bad work? I desperately need a new webcam. Why should I hack a piece of software to do work? Like I said before, my boss don't pay me to get the software to work that we want to work on. He pays me to use the software or build new software. He's not paying me to fix other people's shit. That's how everyone in IT, they don't get paid to fix other people's shit. Some do. Calm your horses. But the vast majority of places, they don't. Unless that piece of shit of software that they're using is mission critical for their business. Then they will pay a developer like Well do with Proton and stuff like that. Those kind of situations they will pay to fix other people's shit because it's cheaper than to make your own shit.
Fix some of his issues. I mean, it's not fair to ask a dev who probably doesn't get paid to do it to compile their software for you. But
then it's not fair for you to expect me to use it. It's that simple. Like I said before, if you make a product and you want people to use it, they expect it to not be shitty. If you expect people to use your software, don't make shit. I don't care, again, how much goodwill is put into it, how much effort is put into it. If it's shit, it's shit. If you want me to use your software, if you put your software out there to be used, I will expect it to fucking work. I don't care if it's for free or if I have to pay for it. I expect OBS to not fucking corrupt my file when I'm done recording. If it does, and it does it regularly, I'm not using it. And you might be, oh, well, you should use it because it's free and open source. What did you expect? Well, I expect it to fucking work. Like, that's the bare minimum of expectation.
A lot of the times, the issue Cameron sees is lack of support from the larger hardware and software companies, as they just don't care about offering a usable Linux experience for many of their products. Elgato and Canon. I'd speak...
Why should they? Again, this is like, oh, I'm so entitled. They would care if it makes financial sense. Who is going to pay for that development effort? Who is going to pay for that support? Windows users? Because if Windows users are going to pay for the Linux support, you are now depending on Windows users. You are depending on people using and supporting companies via Windows. You are now the bitch of Windows users. You can 100% not blame anyone for not supporting Linux if it makes no financial sense or if they don't want to. You are not fucking making the software. You are not making the hardware. You are not owed or entitled for anything to work on any OS. It's up to the manufacturer. There are a lot of things that only work on Mac OS. Why is the GNOME not running on Windows? Why are there Linux only software? Why are you not supporting Windows then? Why are you not doing that? I can be an entitled Windows user. How dare you? How dare you not letting me having GNOME running in a program in of itself on Windows on top of the Windows shell? How dare you making that Linux only? Why are you not supporting the biggest market on earth? You are not owed anything. I hate this mentality a lot of younger people have nowadays, that they are so entitled to other people's work and other people's time and other people's money. If Elgato or whoever the fuck it is, for some reason or another, deem Linux not being worthy of their time, suck it up, Buttercup. Make it worth their time. Find a way that will make sense for Elgato to support Linux. That would probably mean a bigger user base, so they can see a financial benefit of supporting Linux. Because that's how company talks. They talk money. But you are not owed them to support you because I like this little unique operating system and I think it's the best thing ever. So therefore, everyone should support it because I like it. Have you bought a lot of stock in Elgato? Are you part of the director team in Elgato? Are you on the board of decision making on Elgato? Are you actively working for Elgato? No? Then you have no fucking entitlement for anything. This stupid belief that a lot of Linux users have that everyone should support Linux because they like Linux. No. Because then all of the open source software that don't run on Linux only, why is that not running on other systems? How dare you? I hate this mentality.
More on this, but I'm going to have to save it for the Linux rant video I have coming soon, exclusive to members. Be sure to join up to see it. I'd like to speak more on
this is one, don't do this. I don't know how many subscribers this dude have, but don't. This is some money crap. He's doing exactly what I just explained about demand. He's making content and putting it behind a paywall. I could be an entitled Windows watcher and say, I demand to see that video for free. How dare you put it behind a paywall? Why are you not supporting us Windows users or us Linux users that don't want to pay for your content? And it's probably because he spent a lot of time on that video. He's put a lot of effort into that video. And he's the maker of that video. It's his creation. He can do with it whatever the fuck he wants. But you cannot sit on one hand and expect people to support a thing you like and want because it will make your life better, and then do exactly what they are doing for the same reasons why they are not supporting Linux. Putting things behind a paywall because you want to recuperate the time and effort you put into it.
this, but I'm going to have to save it for the upcoming Linux rant video, exclusive to members. Make sure to join up if you're interested in seeing it. Anyways, back to Cameron's Linux sob story.
I know he's being sarcastic here. Here's the takeaway. This is the problem with Linux users. All of this here. But this is the biggest problem. Instead of making fun of Cameron or what his name is, what every Linux distribution maker should be doing, and every Linux user should be doing right now, is taking, I don't even have my, I spilled Monster Energy on my notebook. That's why I don't have it around. They should be sitting right now on their fat asses with the biggest fucking notepad in their lap and writing with big fucking crayons reasons why this dude is moving away from Linux, and then try and fix it. Because this video here that he has made here, this dude here, he's giving super valid criticism, super useful information that Linux users and distribution makers should just eat up like a fucking fat kid in a candy store would eat up all the candy. They should not making fun of him, ridiculing him, or anything like that. They should be like, oh, why are you not sticking around? They should do the why. Why? And how can we make you stay? And then instead of attacking him and everyone else and other companies, try and fix them. Try and fix the issues he have. But again, that takes introspective thought and thinking patterns. Linux community don't like that, because that by doing that you are admitting that you're doing something not that good. You're not providing what you think you're providing. But that's healthy. You can never become better at anything human, learning a new skill, if you're not retrospective or looking at yourself and re-evaluating your efforts. Linux, for him, made a bad effort. He tried for 3 years, didn't fucking work. What this chap here should have done, instead of making this little fucking unintelligent sob story of a fucking counterpoints, what he should have been doing, he should have an interview with this handsome fellow here, and then he should be like, what could we as an Linux community do to keep you here? What do we need to do? How do you want us to do it? Who do you think we need to talk to make this fix this? He should be trying to fix the issue instead of pushing the blame away for everyone else. This whole segment he just talked about is taking away responsibility. And I've seen that I've been using Linux for close to 30 years. This is what Linux users do. They push and take away responsibility. It's free. What do you expect? They don't support us. How do you think Microsoft and Apple became the companies they are today? By changing. Microsoft had plenty of failures. Apple have had plenty of failures. How did they learn from those and not go bankrupt? By looking inside and changing what they are doing to better suit the expectations of the users. Linux people is doing that the other way around. Linux users think that they know what the user wants. No company does that. No company. Again, he's a user. He's a defender. Ask him why he's not going away and how to fix it. I hate this type of people. I hate this mentality. Because if everyone was thinking the way he was thinking about everything in life, nobody will lose weight. Nobody will get in shape. Nobody will take an education. Nobody will do anything other than sitting on the couch playing fucking Xbox or PlayStation all day and blaming everyone else's for the lack of success in your life, or for the lack of financial success in your life, or for the lack of knowledge in your brain, or for the lack of shape that you're in or not in. Linux users are pushing away responsibility like it's no fucking business, and they've done it for almost 30 years now. I've almost never seen anyone especially popular Linux YouTubers, actually doing the right thing and talking to the people not using Linux, talking to the people that are moving away, and try and figure out how we can keep them. That's the question you should ask yourself. Not, why is Adobe or Elgato not supporting us? That will come. But first you need to for that to come, you need to figure out how to keep this fucking long-haired, amazing guard here. That's your goal. Your goal is to keep him. That's your immediate goal. Make sure he don't do what he just did. When you do that, when you fix that issue, your precious Elgato and whatever the fuck it is are going to support you. But Linux users are entitled to everything in their mind because they like Linux, therefore everyone should like Linux. Back to reaction, I guess. See you all later. Bye bye.